You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
And now a word from our sponsor, CrashPlan. The tried and true method for making sure you're covered is to always have a backup plan. CrashPlan takes data preservation seriously. They provide data resiliency by automatically backing up endpoint files to the cloud every 15 minutes with 256-bit AES encryption in transit and at rest. CrashPlan helps you tackle data challenges like ransomware, breaches, migrations, and legal holds. The undeniable solution for the inevitable: back up better with CrashPlan. Try it for free at crashplan.com.
Hi, my name is Morgan Adamski, and I'm the director of the National Security Agency's Cybersecurity Collaboration Center. I had a, hot pink glitter beeper. And I think that is just totally embarrassing, but that was one of my first contacts with technology. I remember going into my basement, rolling up one of those accordion desks, those wooden desks where the top would come up. I would log on, there would be a dial-up, so you had the do-do-do, and then log on to your AI messenger, and you'd just be so excited on who would pop on so you could talk to them. And so that was probably my first experience with a computer at the time. So when I was growing up, I was in highly competitive sports programs where I was training from early in the morning to late at night. And I really just loved being able to be part of a team and leading those teams and kind of do a lot of orchestration of different types of practices and plays and how are we going to win. And so I just knew growing up that I kind of enjoyed that competitive nature. I will also offer that I found a lot of excitement when I got to understand rationale behind decisions and then kind of challenge them. So I guess maybe a lawyer in some respect. But I really just kind of gravitated to those opportunities where I could be on a team, but also could just really debate whether or not something made sense. In high school was right about the time that 9/11 occurred. And I became fascinated with understanding who was behind it, why it happened, and how we could stop it in the future. So I naturally gravitated to pursuing a degree in national security. Now at UNC Chapel Hill, they have a program in peace, war, and defense. It's called PWAD. It's not a well-known program, but it actually is all focused on just war theory, understanding war strategy, understanding how to essentially get ahead of your opponents and have a competitive advantage. And so I studied that through college and then went straight on to get my master's in strategic intelligence with a focus on national security. So I have been in the national security business ever since high school, I'd like to say. Right out of graduate school, I was able to get a cooperative education opportunity at the Defense Intelligence Agency. Proceeding from DIA, I was there for about 2 years working counterintelligence. And then I actually moved to the National Security Agency around 2010, went straight into the NSA Threat Operations Center, which was responsible for cyber defense at the time, and got to work on the cyber defense side of the game and learn a lot about the business there before actually transitioning to work the offensive mission for NSA, as well as work cyber policy down at the Pentagon. So I have worked the offensive, the defensive, and the policy sides of the house. I would offer that my leadership style is someone that is fast-paced, very operationally focused, but also wants to understand how we need to plan for the future. A lot of people when I think about how I approach problems, it's not just about connecting the dots, it's about seeing around the corners. And so that helps me better predict how do I build an organization that's successful 3 to 5 years down the road. So I learned at a young age through sports that What really defines people is not necessarily their successes, but it's how they react after their failures. And so I find that when I'm having a bad day or something doesn't go my way, it's really important for what you do next. What's your next step? How do you approach the problem? How do you ensure that the people around you know you're approaching the problem in a way that's positive? And so I really put a lot of emphasis on figuring out, how do we come back? It's a minor setback. You can always come back. It's just you get to define what that looks like. When people think about the cybersecurity workforce, they really focus in on the technical aspects of that. And what people really need to recognize about this industry is it's really not just about being a technical professional. Cybersecurity is about having people who can communicate well, people who understand policy, who understand how to bring people together to have a fruitful conversation and deliver mission outcomes. It takes all different types of people to work in the cybersecurity workforce. And I would just offer that if you're interested in being in the workforce, really think about the skills that you could bring to bear to help us. And those are going to be a lot of different things. We need strong people on both sides of the fence. We need people who work in the government who are technical, who understand how the government operates, understand who the right POCs are, and who are advocating for those private sector partners to get the types of information they need to protect their networks and their customers. And then likewise, I need people in the private sector who are willing to work with me, who understand my authorities and my capabilities, but also understand my constraints. And so to your question on why I would, the luring of the private sector, I would offer that I'm just as valuable inside the fence than I am outside. I hope that when people look back at the work that I've done, they see that I'm helping lead the National Security Agency into a new area of more openly sharing cybersecurity insights with industry. That is what I want my legacy to be, that I am just one of those people trying to help bridge that gap.
Compliance isn't fun, but neither is a data breach or losing a customer. That's why Drata automated it. With automated evidence collection, over 80 integrations, and 24-hour monitoring, Drata automates the compliance process and keeps you audit-ready year-round. Drata supports over 14 frameworks, including SOC 2, GDPR, HIPAA, and ISO 27001. With over 450 five-star reviews, Drata is the highest-rated cloud compliance platform on G2. Listeners of the CyberWire Daily can get 10% off Drata and waived implementation fees at drata.com/partner/cyberwire.